Recently, I did host a State of the News Business event for RTNA, and once again, the bottom line pretty much is the state of the news business is really quite booming, but the state of journalism is somewhat of an open question. But quality journalism will prevail, as it always has, and I suspect the same is true here in this room as well.
The traditional media woes, I think, will continue to be a challenge for us. In 2009, I heard nearly 300 print publications went out of business in 1 year for traditional media. How we pitch stories, how we deal with multi-platforms with media is going to continue to be a challenge, especially in what we call traditional media, not the social media. And social media is an animal all to itself that is not going to go away, that is certainly an opportunity for all of us.
The industry as a whole is undergoing some of the most radical changes that we've ever seen in our lifetime. I attribute the changes that are with the evolution of social media and emerging technologies and the decline of traditional media as a radical paradigm shift that fundamentally changes how we do our work. We look at it at my agency through the peer-to-peer lens. People are getting their information in very different ways. And that has drastically altered what each and every one of us do every day. We're no longer living in the Walter Cronkite era where the authority figure stands on a mountaintop with a bullhorn and dispenses filtered messages to the masses. We're living in an environment where what I'm saying is being tweeted live and 52 people are reading it before I finish my syllables.
So in big Fortune 500 corporate America, we have Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, but it is limited. It's more limited on our end, and we certainly use some in-house but rely on some of the specialists from the different agencies and some of their sub-vendors who really get the business more. And the theme that so many people talked about, I just keep laughing because it's so true, is be realistic about what you're doing in that space because, I think I heard an NPR story today that the Pope Benedict's on Twitter or something. It's like, oh, come on. I mean, really? So it's just be realistic about how you're using it.
You have to remember all these big agencies shrank like crazy in 2009. I mean, they all tightened up a lot and their revenues did shrink along with their staff. I think staff shrunk at a faster rate than revenues. And that's why they were tightening up margins and tightening up billability and those kind of things. So now, if they're going to grow at all, and I mean, they're going to grow like everybody else in the near term, and that's why they're going to need to hire. But I think as a long-term trend, I think we're going to see some changes in these companies.
The economic climate makes it such that PR has to have a seat at the table. You're still doing earnings, you're dealing with crisis communication. I can tell you from a MySpace perspective, we had to lay off 50% if you average our domestic and international staffers this past summer. And we were incredibly well appreciated, I can tell you that. And our agencies and our crisis agencies really came to bat for us, and it was amazing. And I think the C-suite recognizes that, and News Corp, of course, recognized that. So there's always the opportunity for good work, even when the climate is tough.